Okay, so hi, welcome. My name's Siobhan. I'm the Business Development Manager for Business GT and also the support contact. So if you ever have any questions, send me an email and I'll be able to help out. So what I'm going to cover today is accessing the system. So just using your login details and where to log in. I'm going to show you how to reset your password as well to something a bit more memorable, because at the moment it will very likely be gibberish and not very easy to remember. I help you set up your funnels and statuses as well, and I'll explain what those are in a bit more detail later on. I'll also help you set up your potential values, and again I'll explain those when I come to them. And I'll also help you upload a list of contacts, so whether this is potential customers or existing leads, and you'll be able to use these throughout the system, whether it's in the sales funnel or sending them an email campaign. Okay, so I'm just going to log in, and I'll try and go slowly so that my screen picks up all right. So I've entered the username and password that were sent to me in my welcome email. If you don't have that welcome email, send me an email and let me know, and we can resend it and make sure that you get it. So I'm going to click login. Now to get to the previous page, what I've done is put in my URL and typed VGT at the end, and that takes me to the login page, which looks like this. So I'm now logged in, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to tick this little box here, which is keep me logged in. Because otherwise the system will log you out if you're inactive for 15 minutes. So I'm just going to click OK for that, so that I'm not logged out in the middle of the tutorial. So the first thing I'm going to show you how to do is to change your password. So from this page here, what we want to do is click User Admin just underneath where your photo would be. I'm going to click that. And this gives me a list of all of the users in the system. So I'm going to change the password for this top user, Business GT Tutorial, and I do that by clicking the edit icon. And in here, so I've got all of this user's details, so the first name, last name, company name, and down here in the section that's marked user, I can see my username, and I can also then, to change my password, I'll type in here, set new password. So I'm going to change that. And then I'll just type that again to confirm it. Then I'll click save. What you can also do is, if you would like to send via email someone's username or password, just in case they forget it, as an administrator you can do that by coming here. So I would click send and it would be sent to the email address shown up here. So that's how to change your password to something a bit easier to remember. Okay, so next what we're going to do is set up funnels and statuses. So these are kind of the backbone of Business GT. A status is a stage of work to be completed, and funnels are a way of categorizing them. So I think it'll be a bit clearer if I show you some examples of some setups for some funnels and statuses. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to access this wizard menu in the top right. Now the first stage in all the wizards is setting up and reviewing your funnels and statuses. So I can choose any one of these, so I'll choose the funnel wizard, which will show me this page here, set up your funnels and statuses. Now because this is the first time that I've used this system, not me personally, but this is a new system, what I can do is select an industry default. So I'm going to say that I'm in the advertising industry, and what that will do is show me a big selection of funnels and statuses that might suit my business. So you can see here along the top in the dark green are the name of my funnels. So we'd recommend starting with a funnel for potential customers, existing customers, and then a specific projects thread. So in this example, you can see the statuses underneath potential customers, match the process that I would go through, all the different work stages to get a potential lead on board. So I go all the way through from stop to unsubscribe, call, email, I then arrange a meeting, send out a quote or a proposal, and then I get an order in. So these should match the processes you go through to get new customers. You can see a similar process in existing customers, so getting repeat business out of someone who is already a customer. And then projects, this projects thread matches the process that my business goes through to actually deliver work for clients. So in this example, as an advertising business, we would get a brief quote for that, do some editorial work, design whatever this project is, send a draft to the client, make any amendments, deliver it, and then invoice. So that's funnels and statuses. So if I'm happy with these, I can just click Save and Continue. If I'm not, because these are just suggested ones, I can just type over the top. For example, if I want to call this one here, instead of quote, we'll call that proposal. I can also change the order of these. So for example, I might want to do some design before the editorial normally. So I'll click this arrow here to move that up. There we go. You can also remove any that you don't want in there. So for example, we don't, for example, do much editorial work. We outsource that, so I'll delete that there and confirm that I want to delete that status. So I'll save these. So I'm now happy with my funnels and statuses. I'll click Save. It will then let me continue through this wizard, but for now I'm just going to close out now that I've set up my funnels and statuses. So if I show you some examples of where you can see those statuses, so I'm going to use the app menu. This is the main menu in Business GT. I'm going to go into my sales funnel. And the sales funnel is where I can see all of the work that I've got to do. So you can see I've got my threads at the top here. I've got potential customers, existing customers, and projects. I can add any filters that I like, so only show me work in the last 3 months or for a specific user. You can see the statuses that I've just set up in my sales funnel, as well as some automatic priorities that have been set up there. And I'll be doing a tutorial on using the sales funnel I think it's next week at some point. If you have any questions about using that in the meantime, send me an email or look at the learning and support section of our website. So these statuses are also used. I'll show you one more example in the planning section. So if I use the app menu to go to planning, and I'll go to plan templates. The plan templates are a way of, so for each product or service that you offer, you would set up a plan template. So for example, I might set up this template as an advertising agency to do so for a simple job. So stage 1 in that job would be, or I'll just select that it's a project. So stage 1 would be I'll get a brief, and that will happen on month 1, day 1. I could then set the user who's going to do that work, any sales, hours or purchases associated with that, and then stage 2. So when do I plan on sending the proposal? I'll change that to day 2. And you see then we carry on with plan template, building this plan template, which we can then use in our business planning. So those are some examples of where we can use the funnels and statuses. So I'll leave those for now. If you're interested in planning, I think the schedule is that I'll be doing a planning tutorial tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. But have a look at the tutorials that are on the website to see when those will be taking place. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to show you is how to set up the potential values in your system. So when you're recording work with a contact, you can you can specify the potential value if that lead were to become a customer. So as I'm working on a lead, I can say, well, if this deal were to go forward, they'd be worth £100 to my business. And that number is always going to vary between businesses, so those potential values. So what we're going to do is customize those. So in the app menu, I'm going to go to admin, which is the spanner here. I'm going to make sure I'm in main settings, and you can see the second row down, the setting is potential values. And you can see a comma separated list here. The defaults, for example, are 0, 50, 100, 250, 500, and so on. I can completely change those if I like, or I could just tweak them. So, for example, I'd like to add in an option for £750. I'll then scroll down and update that. And I can then also, as well as all these others, select 750 as a potential value of one of my deals. You can add as many of these in as you like. Yeah, so that's potential values covered. And again, to see those in use, if you watch the sales funnel tutorial that I'll be doing, it'll be a bit clearer what we're actually going to use those for and how they work. Okay, so now we've got all of the main settings in the system set up. What I'm going to do is show you how to upload a list of contacts, because obviously if you've got contacts in your system, it's quite limited in what you can do. So what I'm going to do is make my way to, using the app menu, I'm going to go to the control panel. And this is where you'd come to do the important things really. So there's a lot of key functions here. So for email campaigns, I could send a campaign from here. I could add existing customers or potential customers, record work, create projects. So this is quite an important page in the system. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload a list of my existing customers, because I imagine a lot of people coming to Business GT might have a list of existing customers that they'd like to upload. So in this existing customers section, I'm going to click upload here, which will open this window. Now I've already got a Excel spreadsheet with my existing customers in. This doesn't have to be formatted in any particular order, because we're going to map the data and tell the system what's what during the upload process. But you can see here I've got the important fields. So I've got first name, last name, email, company. And it's good to have the postcode in there as well, because in the sales funnel you can actually show up a load of your contacts in Google Maps, so you can see whereabouts they are if you've got the postcode, which can be useful. You don't have to have all of these fields, and like I say, they don't have to be in a specific order, because we're going to map the data. So you'll see I've also got two tabs. I've got one with all of my existing customers in, and I've got one with all of my potential customers in. But for now, I'll just show you how to upload these existing customers. So I'm going to save that, and I'll minimize it. So I'm back in the system now on the import existing customers page. So I'm going to click choose file and find that on my PC, which is this one, and click open. I'll then upload. And now the system's detected that this is an Excel file, so it's picking up that I might have multiple sheets, which I do. So I've got one for existing and one for potential customers. So I'm going to use this drop down to select the sheet to use. So I'm going to use existing customers here. I'm going to keep this box ticked, which says first row contains headings, because as you saw, my column headings were first name, last name, company name, and so on. I'll then click go. So I can preview the data that I've just imported, just to check it over and check everything looks right and there's no glaring errors in the way that the spreadsheet was laid out. I'll click continue. So it's picked up the file name, so I can just leave that there. I want them available in the funnel, so I want these to be available for staff to work on in their sales funnel. Now I can either add them to an existing contact group or create a new contact group. Now contact groups are important in the system in various areas. So in the sales funnel, for example, you might want to allow users to get more work from a specific contact group. You might want to send an email campaign, in which case you need to get all of those contacts into a group to send to. So here, what I'm going to do is create a new contact group. So I'm going to call this existing customers. And I'm going to click create group, so that when I upload this list, they'll all go into this contact group, so I'll know where all of my existing customers are. So I'll then click continue, which takes me to the data mapping page. So like I said before, it doesn't matter what order your spreadsheet columns are in, because this is where we tell the system what's what. So on the left-hand side, you can see the imported field names. So you can see these are the column headers that I had in my spreadsheet: first name, last name, email, and so on. What I want to tell the system is the destination field. So these are the possible things the system could, the possible fields the system could put that data in. So all I want to do is match these up. So the first one is first name, and I'll select contact first name. Then it's last name, email, and so on. I'll just do a few of these, and then I will actually click upload, so you don't have to watch me map it all. I'll do city, postcode. I want their phone number as well, so I can see their contact details when I'm working in the sales funnel. Job title, have their title as well, their personal title. And once I'm happy with all of that, I'm going to click import. So what this is now doing is it's going to upload all of these contacts, put them in a specific user group. It's going to recognize the data fields as the correct ones because I've mapped them. And as I said, and you'll see later on if you come to other tutorials, you'll see where we can use those contacts then. So we use them all over the system, obviously. So we can allocate projects to them, use them in the sales funnel, and develop our relationship with them using the CRM. We can send invoices. So we've got all of the address details in here that allow us to automatically populate invoices. There we go, so that's done. So import completed. You've got a list of all of the ones that were imported. And you can see it just confirmed 50 users imported successfully. So I've got 50 existing customers now. So I'll close that, and that's going to be the end of today's tutorial, just basically getting the system set up and in a place where you can start using it, so we can start working on these contacts, we can send invoices, do business planning. Thank you for coming, and if you'd like more tutorials, we're going to be doing more this week and next week. For a schedule, go to businessgrowthtool.co.uk/tutorials, and we'll update that with the videos as well.